Okay, welcome everyone. We'll start our first lesson uh, on Unit 3, Global Finance and Strategy. My name is Anjum Satar. Is my email addresses are here. If you need me, please drop me email. If you're just listening this recording, please, if you have any question, just drop me email. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. During this lesson, if you have any question, carry on chatting in the chat box side, so we can record our recording effectively. If you have a cross question, so please ask me as well. So I wish we'll achieve this unit successfully, and if you have any question, feel free and ask me. Before starting this lesson, we'll look first what the course contents, what are the key things which we're supposed to be learn, and how many learning outcome we have under this unit. So Unit 3, Global Finance and Strategy. Global finance, as the word indicate, global is international, not international, is global throughout the world. Not in two countries, in many countries. Our finance, where we'll get the finance, where we'll get the money, how we'll invest, how much we'll invest. We want expansion, we want to divest, we want to expand our business. So what strategy? Strategy mean action plan. What we have, the word came from the Greek word, which used to be in military. So we need to look around, what our competitors are doing, and we need to decide, our global finance strategy accordingly, because end of the day, our objective to be achieve organization objective, because every activity have some objective behind. So that's all it. It's a 20 credit unit. It's a mandatory unit. It's a criteria is pass or fail only. So you can get either pass or refer your unit if you not meet the criteria. So if any question, you have my email. On the completion of this unit, you will be able to session and understand type of decision need to be taken entering in the global market. So which is the globalization in a global market. So which will so understand the concept of globalization, what is meant by the globalization, which will go through under LO1. Then LO2, which we'll also go through today as well. Understand the impact of global business environment on national, multinational. National mean within a country, and multinational mean more than one country, multinational in various countries. So we call multinational. So MNCs, multinational corporations like Unilever, Procter and Gamble, or various other company, Johnson and Johnson. So be able, third, which will go through learning outcome, be able to construct strategy that result in enhancement of organization values, how we can increase the organization values, be able to evaluate the financial consequences and the strategic decisions, understand the appropriate sources of finance, which will go through different sources of finance, where we can raise money, how much will cost us, we need to look around the local environment, which will go through, be able to review the technique of manage global risk, how we can manage global risk. Think about, in terms of Brexit, we have a risk in terms of, think about the war between China and United States about the tariff, like, increasing the tariff on import and export. So that is a huge, risk involved in the organization, or either they move the operation to abroad, all these side of, the risk, how we can minimize, or will involve the local investor to be minimized. It be able to assess the potential investment decision, how we can assess, so we different appraisal methods we can use. So all these guys, when you prepare your assignments, please look under the inductive contents, what we supposed to be learn, what we supposed to write to address this learning. Definition of globalization, types of globalization, investment processes in the globalization. So if you writing this bit, so this learning outcome will be met. So we need to look around this, and learning outcome 2, where we're discussing about the global business environment, different types of decisions. We'll look around the environmental factor, pest and pestle forces, which we'll go through. And these, all the exit and entry barriers can be, which is we can do foreign direct investment, we can enter through joint ventures or various other, or what type of the legislation we must need to be followed. So in the international business, so all these, the things we need to be. Then learning outcome 3, we need to look around the business valuation, definition, purpose. The learning outcome 4 is strategic decision using usually long term, which we can look around, what long term meant to be and how these impact long term decision, sources of finance, how we can raise money, what type of what are the key internal or external sources of finance. Learning outcome 6, where we'll go through different models like capital asset pricing model and various weightage average cost of capital, foreign exchange and interest rates. And then the last not least, which will go through the learning outcome 7. Under this, which we'll discuss about investment appraisal methods, payback period, net present value. Couple of you already learned with me the same sort of stuff, under the financial management with one of other unit, but it's the same learning, same sort of discussion will be here as well. So that knowledge we can embed in this unit as well. Last unit, some theories are methods is applicable. So we'll start our lesson today. Before anybody any question, so just drop me email, just carry on chatting side in the chat box. So my name is Anjum Sathar. I'm teaching with UK Versity more than 5 years now. If you have any question, just drop me email. My email addresses are there. So learning outcome 1 and 2, understand the concept of globalization, understand the impact of global business environment, so which we'll go through. So first of all, we'll start, the question asking, why we'll go for the global business? There are the 6 main reasons why we'll go for the global business. What are those reasons? So first of all, when we'll go for global business, so first we need to reduce the cost. It can be the objective, we want to reduce the cost. How we can reduce the cost in abroad? Think about the labor cost. We have a national minimum wage here, which is around £7.80-85. Now we need to look around on national living wage, which we need to look around this. So that will help, in other country, maybe we'll get the labor less than a £1 an hour. So we need to look around, that will help to reduce the cost. Reduce the risk. So different risk involved because in different countries, so we can spread the risk, we can reduce the risk. Maybe the very high cost leads to the closure of the business and we can't compete, is a risk for our business. We need to liquidate our business. So that's why we want to be produce abroad and we'll sell in other country to reduce the cost and reduce the risk. Or maybe we'll make, a local joint venture to reduce the risk. We need to think about all possible options. Improve the supply chain. Yes, that's why we want to do the global business, because we don't have a supplier to supply the goods. We want to get the raw material from abroad. We need to develop good relationship with the suppliers. That's why we're in a global business. Better goods and services we can provide. We can share experience, knowledge, expertise, new skills. Attract new market. Yes, of course, think about the product maybe we have in our country. Anybody knows what is a home and a host countries? Anybody knows what is a home and host? So home country where you originally from and host country where you're actually operation. So in a home country, maybe we have our product life cycle is under decline stage, but in the developing countries, it can be at the introductory stage. So that's why we attract the new market with the same product. Attract, retain, and imply the global knowledge and talent that will help, So these are the reasons can be to go for international business or global business. So what is a strategy? The strategy is the determinator of basic long-term goal of an enterprise, an organization, the adoption of course of action and allocation of resources necessary for carrying out these goals. So strategy is mean action plan. Why is that strategy we need to make it. How will reduce the cost? How will minimize the risk? How will capitalize, maximize our return? So various authors gave different definitions, but main purpose behind it, how will achieve. Strategy is about the being different. It being deliberately choosing a different set of activity, deliver a unique mix of value. That can be in business strategy, different business administrative concern, united and constructed for particular end. So different people, different authors. So when the word strategy, so in either we are looking corporate or the marketing strategy. Of course, corporate marketing strategy need to be linked with the corporate strategy as a overall organization. So if we want to be go abroad, so our global marketing strategy, we need to look around our mission objectives, our marketing assessment, where we want to be, current situation, SWOT analysis, exemption. Then we need to look around the marketing strategies, desired result, what really in the marketing we want to achieve in the global market, tactics and plans, and then budget, how much money we. So under the finance, because we're looking the global finance, so we need to make a global budget. Country A, country B, country C, country D, Asian market, African market, and various other markets. So we need to make operational plan. We need operational budget. So this process is start with the setting, goal setting, mission, corporate objective, then analyze the current situation, where we are, which country we are, what's happening there, economy. Is it like in the UK, economy growth is around less than 2% now due to the Brexit and various other factors. So that's why the lot of, like you maybe heard about Honda, they moving are closing in 2021. Swindon plant, few they are going some part of it to cutting more jobs and bringing more innovation in and moving some operation abroad, keeping in view. So we need to look around, allocation of marketing resources and monitoring. That's really under the global finance and strategies. We need to look around, what we'll do. Okay. Strategy is not something reserved for the exclusively for those top business. So we need to think about the strategy is not mean, the home country will only make the strategy. The host country managers can make their own strategy based on the ground reality. So that's why it's a popular quote, which is quotation normally people use in the international or global business: think globally, act locally. Think globally, act locally is mean that think, whole world, but act locally. That's where the resources are feasible, where the finance is feasible, where the strategy can be put into action plan. So we need to look around this. It's not just the top managers, best the company, where everybody's life has the strategy to make up the lower cost or the unique product. So we need to look around how we can make the lower cost product and a unique product that will appeal to the market, and we can. IB consists of international business. So consist of all the commercial transaction, including sales, investment, transportation, take place between two or more countries. So we call international business. We can use key decisions for international business, deciding whether to go abroad, whether to particular geographic market, limit on geo, and deciding the mode of entry. Okay, think about, you want to do international business. It's very easy nowadays, you sell online goods on eBay, you're doing international business across the boundaries, across the border. If you're selling something, we are saying, we are doing global business. Scanning techniques, we can look around the holistic approach, identify the major opportunity and risk. So think about China. China market is quite big. If you look in case of the mother care, want to do business in China, so mother care business can be huge, because in Chinese government recently removed the restriction on the second child, because in the past, especially if you want a second baby, you're supposed to pay $150 a month, tax to government. You want which is a lot of country, of course, in the international market and human rights and various, they objected, because that's an individual decision if they want more kids or not. So we need to look around. This is which create a more opportunity for mother care. So we need to look around the risk and opportunities in those markets. why the globalized? What is the global trade new? Global trade exploration, ancient civilization back in Egypt and China. It's global trade is very, very old. It's not just new now. 15 to 1900 different colonial competition for resources, war, transport. So that's the history of globalization. So what's happened in these years? So neoliberal globalization, collapse of the Soviet Union, China abandoned and rise, false internationalization, communication, global enterprise, free trade, trade blocks is set up. So like European Union and various other trading blocks, NAFTA, North America Free Trade Agreement, and all these are the further boost of the global business. So why is global business is growing? So in 15, human power was 10 miles per hour. Then 1850 to 19, steam ships 36 miles per hour to 65 miles per hour. Then early 90s and to 1990, motor vehicle, airplanes and jet air. So now speed is from 75 miles per hour to 500, 700 miles per hour. So that's a huge, the chance. So travel is the distance is reducing so quickly. What does the globalization mean to you? Different people have a different. Globalization may be defined as the increasing of the worldwide integration of market for goods, services, and capital concurrent. So with the increase the role of for MNEs, multinational enterprise in the world economies, and increase intervention into domestic and regional policies affairs by international institution. IMF role can't be ignored. WTO, World Trade Organization, World Bank, United Nations, all these are the institutions. Those are behind is a key objective to be boost the international trade. But now is a lot of concern things like recently this Donald Trump's government moved toward more localization, boosting local economy and banning the foreign company are introducing more tariffs. Of course, every country have a right to protect. So that's we need to. What is the driving force of globalization? Of course, international trades, international courts, justice systems, and information technology is growth. Think about online banking, credit card, debit card. Otherwise, LC, letter of credit, which we used to be exchange. The goods between one country to other country. So that's all boosting the international business. Okay, so seven factor increase in globalization. So technology is one thing, liberalization, development of the service to support international business, lot of industry, those helping, travel, tourism, ultimately boost the trade as well. So pressures from the consumer, global competition, changing political situation, expanding cross-national cooperation between countries on various factors. So think about the global product line. Think about the uh, this. So think about the tire in Japan, doors panel in US, alternator in France, instrument in Germany, windows in the UK, sales uh, France, and fuel lines in US. So this is the all, when you look any car manufacturing is a huge, so it's many countries involved too, are producing parts of it in different part of the world. So we need to look around the business strategy formulation, evaluating external and internal environment. So it's very crucial. So when we'll make the strategy for the organization, we need to be look around the internal and external environment. So both is very, very crucial. Internal is also known as a micro, which we'll go through further slides as well. Global determination analysis will provide the information, setting the global opportunities and wish to exploit. So which we need to look around geographical, functional areas, and strategy implementation. So localization characteristic, always when we'll do the global business, we need to look around the cost, We need to look around the tax factor. Many countries, they have a first few years, there is a no tax, to boost the local economy. And if you set up your business in the areas where no industry being set up to provide the jobs to the local people, so that's why is huge. Demand factor is a huge. If the population is growing, demand will be high. So we need to look around strategic factors. We need to look around regulatory and economic factors, social, political factors. So all these factors we need to keep in mind to boost, so deciding whether to locate. Political, legal environment, that can be one of the reason. We need to look around political. If you think about the government towards the international trade, they're introducing are very hostile. They are into putting, they're not welcoming, and visa policies and free movements and all these, leads to the political and legal, what the new legislation. So technological environment, we need to look around what technology in that. 3G technologies, 4G technologies, all, these sort of, technologies we need to look around. Cultural environment, we need to think about, what sort of the cultures come, norms, value, the way that we do the business, the way we serve, the way we treat. So all these are the quite crucial thing. Economics environment, where we need to look around the GDP and various other factors, which I'll go through in the next slide as well with you. So market characteristic, which market we are is quite dominant, is a consumer market, business to business market, more production potential, all these factors we need to. Internationalization, the scene when we want to go for international business, so we need to, our global business, we need to look around. Either you can go by export, you can outsource production, or foreign direct investment is mean you set up your own factory there and you invest money for it. Production under license, maybe, or franchise we can. Greenfield side investment, wholly owned subsidiaries, are the joint ventures, foreign partners, acquisition, local business, you retain the identity, I'll rebrand your local business. So all these are the question we need to ask, and we need to make the strategies. Timing of entry is always crucial to be in international market. As you quick enter, sometime early enter always is a benefit, because you can maximize more share, but sometimes higher the risk, because they're higher the return, higher the risk as well. First mover, so early follower, a late mover. So timing determines risk and environment and the opportunities the company may be confront. So all this we need to look around. Early mover have advantages and disadvantages. So entry mode, how we can enter. As earlier I said, exporting can be subcontracting, counter trade account, 20% of world trade, transfer related of ownership, international leasing can be franchising or build, operate, transfer, foreign direct investment, joint ventures, branch office, maybe you can set up in different part of the world, wholly owned subsidiaries, international holding. Okay, what is meant by subsidiary? If the parent company, the major company, own the shares for more than 49%, we call subsidiary. So if it's 20 to 49%, we call associate. As an accounting student, because of course we have to produce the consolidated statement, we must need to be well aware of, what is the difference between these. So foreign direct investment is defined as an investment that are deducted from the required lasting interest in enterprise operating in an economy other than that in of the investor. The purpose is, of course, is a effective voice in the management and the enterprise, and we want to be returned to be maximized. Anybody, any questions? So please ask me if you have any question. Motive for foreign direct investment, what is the purpose behind? Market related proximity to market is a powerful pull factor. Production related economies of scale, because we can, resources related proximity to the resources, raw material, it can be locally available, that's why we want to be there. The foreign direct investment, control of specific strategic asset, acquiring business for brand or other assets. So that's we need to look around. Joint ventures and strategic alliance allow companies with their complementary skills to benefit from one another's strength. So that's we need to be look around the joint venture when two or more company invested fund into the creating a third or jointly owned company. That's the new subsidiary is called joint venture. So strategic alliance when the companies want to quickly get a new era of expertise or access to new technologies or market, they would benefit equally from the partnership. So we can make the strategic alliance with the local companies in different part of the world in different countries. So that will help, that's also be boost. Think about these are the global success cases. It's quite, think about Pepsi, Disney, Apple, Microsoft, Starbucks, and HP, Sony. These are all United Airlines. So strategic so these are the strategies we can ethnocentric, which we can allow the values of the parent company guide the strategic decision. Ethnocentric, the same thing what we are doing in the parent, we can apply polycentric. Firms make the strategic decision tolerated or suit the culture of the country where the MNCs operate. So polycentric is mean the decision think globally, act locally is a local strategies based on the local. Regional centric it can be regions, like we can make the strategies according to European market, Asian market, African market. So that is the regional centric. Each region we can make it. Geocentric, it can be throughout the world, one strategy is one approach to deal the things, which is quite difficult because every country have a different culture. Or maybe our core strategy will stay the same, or we can little bit more mode according to the local legislation, according to the local requirement. Because of course, if you follow the same recruitment selection or the pay policy, we need to think about, because the local legislation we need to follow as well. If we don't follow it, we can, of course, will be penalized as a company. So that's why the child labor, of course, is forbidden under the UNR. We need to look around this, and when we're looking the local human uh, uh, rights, we need to look around the local legislation, like the 70% maybe profit you need to reinvest in 30 to 40% you can, like in Saudi Arabia and various other Middle Eastern country. So always we need to look around, we need to make the strategies for those. And okay, so we need to look around multinational orientation for multinational under different profile mission. So maybe if we have a ethnocentric profit very visibility, polycentric public acceptance, we need to look around. Regional centric both profitability and the public acceptance, we need to be geocentric same as regional centric. So same thing throughout the, we need to look around the governance is a top down approach, maybe bottom up approach, or mutually negotiated. We need to strategy global integration. We need to look around the national responsive. We need to look around the regional responsive, and we need to look around the global integrations and the national responsive as well. So cultural. So these are the factors we need to look around. Either we want ethnocentric, polycentric, regional centric, and geocentric. So that's quite crucial for international business. Next we're looking, which is more LO2. LO2 is all about the environment and mode of entry, which I explain you mode of entry, which we can go in international market, and we can enter into international business in the various different ways to boost our business and to do business in international market. Okay, anybody any question up to now? Please ask me if you have any question. So marketing environment, outsider forces that affect the marketing management. We need to look around ability to build and maintain the successful relationship to target. Microenvironment, actors close company that affect its ability to serve the customer. Micro, which is mean the larger actual forces. That, so we'll go through the actor in the microenvironment. Micro means small, is internal normally we call, and the company, suppliers, marketing intermediaries, competitors, public, and customer, these come the actors under the microenvironment. So when we're looking five types of the customer market. Consumer market. What is the mean by consumer market? The goods they buy and consume it. Business market, the people buy the goods and for the resale purposes or the business purposes. Reseller market, where buy and resell it, like can be retailer. So government market, where the government institution buy your goods and services. International market is mean the people not only the locally buy your product, is international they buy your product. So these are all your customer. You can categorize them, you can divide the product, and you can make the product strategy. You can decide the product price according to keeping in way of the customer. Next, we're looking the major forces in the company: micro environment, demographic, economies, nature, technological, political, and cultural. Okay, so when we're looking the political environment, always we need to look around the things such as political stability. If the political stability in the country, that will consistent policy. So when as a company will make our strategy, we can make effectively. Tax policy, each political party have a different tax policy, so we need to look around those policies in the political manifesto, or the political party those create manifesto. So program for forthcoming legislations, we need to look around, like Brexit. After Brexit, new legislation, new rules, what will be, and it will be beneficial, or it will be maybe for few companies more beneficial than other. Employment law, we need to look around. Yes, it's a compulsory for employers, like here GDPR. We need to look around under health and safety. We need to look around equality laws, discrimination laws, and various others. Employment law, contract need to be provided. So dominant political ideology, economics, inflation rate, we need to look around. Like in the UK, inflation rate was around 3, is carried down, now is around 2 and less than 2. So we need to look around exchange rate, how we can protect, what strategy we need to be hedging strategy we can use. If the exchange rate is regular, changing the exchange rate. So we need to look around these, and we have to can the pound against dollar, which country we are doing trades. Basically we're looking the globalization and environment. We need to look economics growth. We need to look around if China economy is slow down, it will affect all other economies as well. If American, because these are the big economies, so we need to look around these factors. If you're selling in those markets, unemployment rate, if unemployment rates carry on increasing, what will be happen? Ultimately, people have a less disposable income. When people have a less disposable income, ultimately they're not going to buy our product, they can't afford it, so ultimately we'll lose it. Then we're looking the social factor as a society, education levels, we need to living condition, trend in fashions and taste, religious belief, employment pattern. So we need to look around technological, how much companies or the countries is investing money on the research and development, changing in information technology, changing in mobile technology, speed technology, like think about robots, think about fracking technology, gas, electricity, renewable. So all we need to look around, if we are if we're making diesel engines or manufacturing cars, diesel cars, we need to think about, if we're not going at chaining now onward, the tax is going to be introduced from 2020 in the UK major cities. So ultimately, we'll lose the money. So we need to think about how we'll make a cars those are more eco, are more electric cars. These are the question we need to ask. We'll go through few videos all about the globalization, global business, that will help us. So guys, this is quite good. If you just copy this link and just paste it, and let's we'll go through globalization. So when you're looking globalization, so these are the quite good. Let's first one. So if we'll go
globalization is a process, not an event, and it's a process in which national economies in the world become increasingly integrated and increasingly sourcing inputs.
So please, guys, you can use this data and some the question like share of the world economies. You will see how much is in different countries. They have a shares. China, US, 16%. China is 16.86% global trade. They are doing 16. So India is 7 is third. Fourth is Japan, then Germany, then Russia, then Brazil, then United States, UK, then France. Yes. So we need to look around these. So according to the International Economics Corporation Development Organization, they define, geographical and great transfer of capital, friends, global brain. So these are all the globalization. So let's this one when we're looking the globalization and so according to
We all
FT.
think we know what globalization looks like. We all also think we know what global trade looks like, and what has been a huge expansion over centuries. Much more like this World War, he wrote,
So
shifted
So guys, it's quite good, provide you a lot of data which we can use for the assignment as well. So
economists also argue that a big
containerization, we can look around technological and economies of scale, opening up the global financial market, different tax system, and the less process. So think about the
because more of what we do and trade is related to services.
Okay, so when we look in terms of gain from the globalization, your argument can be maybe some countries. So you will see there is some globalizations have advantages and some disadvantages. So always we need to look around these very closely. Okay. Then the cost of globalization can be on the local businesses that can be cost, because of course, the local employment, local culture can be transferred. So all this we need to look around. So it's these are the quite good videos to watch and further to enhance your understanding. So that's all meant by to show you this. Okay, let's we'll okay. So now
We'll look at labour migration and momentum. Globalization.
okay. So next now we just a bit recap what we learned up to now. So today we learn about what is meant by the concept of globalization, reasons for the globalization. Then I discuss with you what is meant by strategy, what type of strategy, the flow of strategy, how we can make strategy, an action plan, which we discuss about why globalization is there and some history behind the globalization, what is meant by the globalization to you, and 7 factors which we discuss about the globalization in your assignment. We can look around business strategies, localizations. We discuss about the international strategies can be export, outsourcing, and foreign direct investment, and timing of entry. You can be first movers or late movers. So all have advantages and disadvantages. We discuss about joint ventures. We discuss about successful. We'll discuss about the strategies can be ethnocentric, polycentric, geocentric, and regional centric, your organizations. And we discuss about the environment as an organization, micro and macro environment. We need to be well aware of what is meant by, and we discuss what micro factors we need to keep in mind, when we'll do international business or international trade, because these factors can boost or reduce, the business in the global market, and that's all. And I copy the link for you to further, globalization and economics impact on. So this is all today. We cover our LO1 and LO2. If you have any questions, so please do not hesitate to drop me emails, and I will try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. So have a nice weekend. Have a wonderful time. If you're listening this recording, so please get back to me if you have any questions. So have a nice time. Hope I will speak you all by next week. Try to attend lesson next week, same time, which normally is Sunday in the UK. 10:30 will be second lesson on global finance and strategy. So please try to attend. Thank you. Bye bye.